If you relapsed on semen retention, then there are 5 steps that you must execute so that you don't get trapped in the cycle of relapse, whereby one leads to the next, where you get shamed about yourself and then you just keep on getting stuck in that negative feedback loop. Okay, it's absolutely essential that you execute the 5 steps that I'm about to share with you in this video. And these 5 steps do not only apply to semen retention, but they really apply to any destructive behavior pattern that you find yourself engaging in. And if you execute these steps, they will be a way for you to let go of these behaviors and move towards growth rather than get stuck in this negative feedback loop. Okay, so step number 0 is to have a vision for the future. I emphasize this on the channel so much, but if you do not know why you do what you do, if you do not know why you study personal development, watch these personal development videos, try to improve yourself, why do you do these things? If you don't have a vision for the future that compels you, then you are also stuck in a loop. You're just doing things without even knowing why you are doing them, and that is not something that will motivate you over the long term. So step number 0 is absolutely essential for you to create a vision for the future that drives you, that excites you, because if you don't, then it's very simple to default to what feels good in the present moment, right here, right now. Okay, that's step number 0. Before you do that, it's like engaging in all these personal development practices and trying to improve yourself. It's like, why are you doing this? What's the purpose of all of this, right? You need that vision, because without a vision, the people will perish. Okay, now step number 1 is like, when you relapse, when you engage in that destructive behavior pattern, when you do something that is against your own values and you find yourself in that situation where you feel kind of shameful about it, that is the time to disconnect. That is the time for step number 1 to get awareness on what has just gone on, right? Disconnecting from the emotion of the moment, disconnecting from the behavior, understanding that it's not about your identity, it's not about shaming yourself, because if you shame yourself, then you will feel bad about it, and when you feel bad about it, you will try to escape it, and when you try to escape it, it is more often than not through another destructive behavior pattern. So shame does not serve you, it does not serve anyone. Okay, I made another video about this, but it's about getting awareness. Okay, this thing happened, right? Getting objective awareness on the thing that has happened, and then moving on to step number 2, which is about understanding why it happened. Okay, because everything that you do on a repeated basis is for a reason. You do it because you get a dopamine hit from it. You do it because you feel good about it in the moment, even though it robs you of your future. Okay, so step number 1 is to get awareness on it, to disconnect from it, and step number 2 is to get awareness on why this thing has happened. Okay, what was the trigger in your environment that signaled you towards doing this? Okay, because it's more often than not, they call it a halt. You're hungry, you're angry, you're lonely, or you're tired. You feel a certain state of emotion, and this destructive behavior pattern becomes a means to escape that state, to change your state. And even though it changes your state in the moment, it gives you a little bit of a spike, it actually takes you even lower than you were before it. Okay, so identifying that trigger is absolutely essential, right? Step number 3 is to replay that scenario in your own mind. Okay, replay the scenario where you're going about your life and something in the environment triggers this destructive behavior pattern. You catch yourself, and then identifying how you will replace this behavior. Okay, it's way more difficult to let go of a habit and just end it cold turkey rather than replace it with something that is empowering, right? And this is the art of using AI, which is ancient intelligence, installing the algorithms into your basal ganglia to replace the behaviors that are not serving you with behaviors that do lift you up. So next time that you do experience the trigger, right, replay in your mind's eye. Okay, I'm going about my life, I just finished up my work, it's night, I have a bit of free time, I feel kind of lonely, and then I'm tempted to open up some website address. Okay, that was a trigger. I open up the website address. So then it's like about replacing that. It's like, if I feel lonely, then I will call up my friend, then I will go and send a message to someone, then I will log in to some clubhouse chat room or whatever it is, to replace the destructive behavior with something that is more empowering than that. Okay, and really asking yourself, okay, what would the highest version of myself do in that moment, right? Replaying the scenario in your mind's eye I was going about my day. I experienced a trigger. Okay, right before I exhibited the behavior of relapsing on the destructive behavior pattern, whether it's semen retention, whether it's alcohol, whether it's weed, whatever it is, thinking about what would the highest version of myself do in that moment. Ask yourself that question. An answer will come up. And then the next step is to replay the scenario and observe, visualize in your mind's eye, going through that scenario and actually engaging in the empowering habit. Okay, visualize that, experience it emotionally about replacing the destructive behavior pattern with the empowering ritual or routine, and then you see yourself going about your day. So then the next time that this comes around, you have already practiced it, you have already visualized it in your mind's eye. And again, this is not some woo-woo stuff, okay? You have to try this out for yourself to see if it works or not. You can be like, oh, this guy's lying, oh, this guy's telling the truth, but it doesn't matter whether I'm lying, whether I'm telling the truth, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. The only thing that matters is whether you implement this, whether you execute it and notice the results for yourself and let go of the destructive behavior patterns, and thus create the space for new, more empowering routines and rituals that lift you up towards the person that you know in your heart of hearts you are capable of being. Okay, because that's really what it comes down to. We do not choose our futures, but we do choose our habits, and our habits determine our future. And if you can begin replacing the destructive behavior habits with empowering ones, then you are setting yourself up on a trajectory towards creating a life that you love. So leave a comment below right now letting me know your number one takeaway. What are you going to implement after watching this video? Will you implement these steps or not? Let me know in the section below, because otherwise it's just more intellectual stimulation that if you do nothing with, then nothing will change your life. Okay, so leave a comment below letting me know if you will implement this or not. I'm gonna hold you accountable to that. But like this video if you like it, subscribe if you have not already. It really helps the channel grow. But with all that being said, I hope that this has been valuable for you, and I will catch you in the next one. Much love to you. Take care.